You want the picture, let me pose for you now. You got me now? Oh, you'd like another one? You like this one?
Hey guys, it's Natassiawright. Thank you so much for joining me on this Get Ready With Me video. It's been a while, so I'm here to update you while putting some makeup on to go to my event. It's a pleasure, guys. Happy New Year! Hey guys, it's Natassia here, and today I'm doing something that I've never done before for the very first time. Listen, your girl is under pressure and I have had to find a way to just make everything work, to give you guys an update on life, on business, on everything in general, but also doing it in a Get Ready With Me format to save time. So I want you guys to bear with me as we journey together. It's actually been about 6 months since I've done my last video in the format where I'm actually here talking to you, and so it's a special one for me. It's gonna be raw, unfiltered, unedited kind of thing, because I want it to have impact, right? So I actually have a leadership training with some young people today, so I'm gonna get myself ready. I want to show you guys like what my makeup bag looks like. Now this is a huge bag with so many different compartments and stuff in there that I use my makeup for. However, here's the thing, guys. I have like 6 of these around the house somewhere. So it's not like I just have one. I like to support my local makeup brands, and so what you find is over time I've had so many products sitting down in the house. I have to take my time and go through and look at like what has expired, what I don't need right now. So yeah, it's not as orderly as it should be. So I just wanted to show you like what my makeup bag looks like, the type of foundation I use. I'm gonna show you those in a sec, but like I said, everything is a mess. So the first thing I want to mention on this Get Ready With Me is that for the past 6 months, I think the last vlog I did was that big vlog in Canada. Now that huge vlog of Canada, I think it broken out into 6 or 7 different parts. So I had one where we went to the aquarium. I did one where we went to the zoo. We went to the CN Tower. We did a lot of things, and I recorded snippets of like the whole experience there in Canada. You guys can find that on my page. And then since then, I think I've traveled like 6 more times. Yeah, for real, guys, I kid you not. And I wanted to do vlogs for all those, but didn't work out. It was just too much. I couldn't do it. This is my primer, it's a very cheap one, but it works. I like the fact that it makes my skin so smooth, and yeah, my makeup doesn't move. So this is what I use on top of other stuff that I have, but today I'm just using this one. So yeah, I have not been able to do all the vlogs that I wanted to do because of course sis ain't got no time. So business has really been kicking my behind, so I have had to place a lot of emphasis, time and energy on that, of course, and so it's been a little crazy, I'm gonna admit. So yeah, I wasn't able to do my vlogs. I even had like commentary stuff that I wanted to do. Not even that, guys, not even that. That's just how crazy it's been. Also, my fan is on in the background because I don't want to sweat this makeup off. Anyway, you guys know I live in Jamaica, right? So we are always hot here. So yeah, so I'll keep the fan on. So guys, I have not been able to do any of those videos, so I wanted to do just one quick thing just to let y'all know what's been going on with me. As I mentioned before, business has been taking a lot of my time, traveling one. And let me tell you something, a lot of people may not tell you, let me ease in a little bit, a lot of people may not tell you, but when you travel, it's almost like your body goes through a whole process of trying to adjust, so you're always tired afterwards. It's like you just don't feel the same. So that has happened to me time and time again throughout this period of just moving around for different events. I went to Atlanta, I went to Antigua to graduate. That was extra special for me. That was a big one. And let me tell you, that Atlanta trip and Antigua trip, they were 7 days apart. So you can imagine what that was like. 7 days apart, right? And then afterwards I went to Fort Lauderdale. Then I spent Christmas and I came back just in time for New Year's. And then after that we left again and we went to Canada. This Canada trip was for Purple Summit International, and we didn't spend a long time there in Canada, but we took like 4 different aircrafts to get to Toronto, because we had a lot of trainings and so on that week. And let me tell you, that popped we right down. We were so exhausted that I mean, at one point we didn't know where we were. Jamar said he woke up in the night and he was wondering to himself, like, where am I? And it has happened to me time and time again too. I haven't been showing you guys like what products I'm using, I'm sorry. And I am no official makeup artist. I literally do my own thing. I mean, I watch other people, but I really do my own thing. So this is the MAC Studio Fix. I don't know if you can see it. All right, I love it. It's actually very nice. I don't worry about it. And also, I am not an expert on brushes, so I pretty much use whatever brush I want to use. So yeah, so it was very tough for us to adjust, and then within a few days or so, I don't know when I'm gonna put this video out, we're gonna be in Fort Lauderdale again. So we've been doing quite a bit, and it takes so much out of us. You know, a lot of people will see the videos and the pictures and they're like, oh my gosh, you travel so much, I wish that was me. You may not want to wish that was you, because it takes so much out of you to do. And then it's like a lot of these travels, I had to travel and I also had to do payroll. I had to be doing business stuff. I still had presentations to different places, and I still had to maintain a schedule. I still had clients that, you know, I have services for. So it looks glamorous, but it takes so much out of you. It's ridiculous, right? So that's pretty much what's been happening. I made a whole mess over here, but I'll fix it. That's pretty much what has been happening to me, and as to why you haven't seen anything from me in a while. Now, I wanted to share some lessons, because usually within that period, 6 months, I would have posted quite a bit of videos, whether on business, you know, being a mother, wife, whatever. I would have posted a whole lot of stuff. And so I wanted to use this opportunity also just to share some things that I learned during that time while I've been away. All right, so just before I talk about that, I wanted to show you guys what I'm gonna put on. So when I was in Canada, my friend, he came by and he bought me some new foundations, and we're gonna use them. They're Fit Me. I love Fit Me. I'm gonna use 330 and 340. Now 340 is cappuccino and 330 is toffee caramel. these are products that I use all the time, but I have not been able to find the right match for me, and I think he nailed it this time. So we're gonna use that. Now usually I would use, let me show you, I would use Estee Lauder, which is like an expensive foundation. A friend of mine from Canada, she got me using this and I've been hooked, but I don't want to use this today because I bought it in Toronto in August when my skin was at its darkest, and when I put it on now, you can literally see that it's too dark for me, so I don't want to wear it. I don't want to wear it. We're in January now, so of course my skin is different. So I've been using Estee, and then I have this one which is Beauty Stop. It's Beauty Stop. That's the name of the company, and it's a Jamaican company. It's a Jamaican brand, Jamaican company. I also use MAC, of course. I bought this in May last year, and I can't use it right now because it's too dark too. So what color is this one? This is NC50. It's too dark for me right now, so I can't use that either. And then I have some Revlon ones, but I'm not using those either. I just need some, I need ones that actually fit my skin tone right now, so I'm gonna go for it. Right, so some of the lessons that I learned, I think last year, one of the big lessons for me was just believing in me. Now I know for a lot of you, you're looking at me like, but Nas, that's always been you, right? That's always been you. You're always positive, you're inspirational, you know, you're the type of person who you go for what you want, yada yada yada. But while that is true, I do have moments of doubt, just like anybody else. Just like anybody else, I have like moments where I don't think I'm capable, moments where I feel like I'm making a mistake, moments where I feel like I don't know what I'm doing, I feel like such a fraud. And for those who don't know, that's a characteristic of the imposter syndrome. And so just like you, I go through all those emotions, and what I have seen so far, remember, I'm not a professional makeup artist, guys. I'm doing my thing. Don't criticize me in the comments. I'm doing it my way. All right. So yeah, so although I do share a lot on how to be positive and, you know, how to remain confident and, you know, walking in your purpose and stuff like that, I do go through bouts of doubt and fear and all of that, because I'm a human being. Regardless, I'm a human being, right? So I literally, after, you know, doubting myself for a period of time, it got to a point where I said, listen, I really did not care how things seem. I was going to just believe in myself. And so that's a big takeaway for me, because a lot of the things that I worried about that weren't going to happen for me did happen. And I just had to get to that point where I said, you know what? It doesn't matter what happens. I'm going to believe in my potential. I'm going to believe that, listen, if God called me for this area, He is going to send me clients. He is going to help me solve problems, all those different things. I really had to believe God and what He said and His promises for me as well, because there are many times that things didn't look right. Things didn't look like they were gonna work out. And so I had to force myself to believe that, listen, no matter what, regardless of what the circumstances look like right now, you're gonna be able to do it. And so that's a big takeaway for me. Another big takeaway as well is that I had to put in more work, like to get me at that place mentally, like, because I found that I was going through like periods of just not feeling up to it. I don't want to do anything. I just want to sit and sulk. And I said, you know what? I cannot do this. I was like, I cannot do this anymore. I said, you know what? All right. I'm going to put more attention on, you know, making sure that my mindset is where it needs to be so that I can deliver. So I tell people a lot of times that, so I don't want to lose my train of thought. So I speak a lot. So on average, I probably have more than 8 or so speaking engagements. Usually, sometimes I have that in a whole week. Like the week alone, I have 8 where I have to address people. I have to train leaders. I have to do all these different things. Now imagine having to do all those things and you don't feel up to it. You don't feel energized. You don't feel confident. It's tough. You're not gonna be able to make it. And so I had to spend more time working on you. And I say this a lot because you will only get as far as your mindset dictates. And so it's a big deal, right? So if you know that you have certain things that you need to tackle for the week and they are going to take a lot of energy out of you, you need that good vibes going or whatever the case is, then you know that you really have to work on setting the tone for your day. And so I had to really dig deep. And I said, you know what? If it meant that I'm not going to answer some calls, I'm not. If it meant that I'm going to wake up a little bit early to, go through some positive stuff, to read the Bible, to whatever it is, whatever it was, I had to make that decision and just decide that I was going to do it because I realized that my mindset just wasn't there, guys. It really wasn't. I'm using it's called Refreshing Facial Prime and Setting Mist, which is just like rose water, fresh rose water and aloe. And I'm using that to spread this concealer under my eye. Right. So I had to put in more work. They like to think that, people who encourage, people who are out there taking care of everybody else don't necessarily need this kind of thing. I believe that we need it more than you because we are the ones who are pouring into you. So imagine what we go through on a regular basis. We don't go around happy-go-lucky all the time. No. We actually go through real stuff, like stuff that are unimaginable, and we have to keep going because you are looking to us to hold that banner up. So I had to put in more work. That's just the whole gist of it. It took more work out of me. I had to put in more work to make sure that I was in the right place mentally to be speaking to so many different people. And yeah, so I learned that. Another thing that I learned, the third thing that I learned was that I needed to take a break. Like, I don't care what anybody wants to say. Like, people like to think that, when you're in certain capacities, you shouldn't have any issues, or it's like you shouldn't fumble, or you shouldn't have any, any down period or whatever. You should just keep going. Like, no. And that's not reality. So you need time off. I had to decide, like, what could I still do that wasn't draining me, and what could I put aside for another time when I felt better. Again, this is Beauty Stop, and I'm using their highlight and contour setting powder palette. It's a whole palette. I love it. I actually had one before this, and it got broken up into pieces because I use it every day. I think I put too much right there, but that's okay. I'll get rid of it. Right. So because I was using it every day and brought it everywhere with me, of course, traveling so much, after a while it started breaking up. So it was almost done anyway, so that's all good. Again, I am not a professional makeup artist. I am doing my thing. I think I definitely put too much right there. I'll go in and fix it shortly. Alright. I'm gonna put some on my eyelid. I'm not an eyeshadow person. I really don't. Most of the time, the same brown that I use to contour my face, the reason I run out of it so quickly is because I use it on my eyelids as well. So you won't necessarily find me in a lot of colors. You will find me in browns, earthy tones, and I'm gonna be wearing a brown jacket today too, so it works. Right, so I decided during that period that, listen, all right, I can't do the vlogs, I can't do the videos as I normally would, and so I decided that, hey, I'm gonna have to take a little break from doing the videos and focus on my speaking engagements. I would have to focus on, you know, stuff like that, because I couldn't give my attention to everything. It wasn't going to work. I knew it wasn't going to work. So I had to do what was best for me. And again, what was best for me was, I'm sorry, something fell. Yeah, what was best for me was to put some things aside. So I decided that, listen, I'm gonna give YouTube a little break and I'm gonna focus my attention on IG. Now, naturally, IG gets my attention every day because we post morning charge. So if you don't see me on every platform every day, you're gonna see me on IG, Facebook, and LinkedIn every day. Without fail, you're gonna see me on those every single day because of morning charge. So I decided to give it a break, and I said, you know what, eventually I'll come back around to it, but for now I could not operate doing all these different things. So that's another huge lesson that I learned as well. I knew what to put aside. All right, another lesson that I learned was that, listen, I needed to give myself some break. I need to give myself some slack. Sometimes we find ourselves doing so many different things that we don't realize that, listen, we can't do everything. We can't, you know. At some point, you're gonna have to just put some things aside and focus on what's important and leave the rest. I had to learn that, and sometimes I feel like I learned that the hard way, but I learned that, and yeah, it went well for me, because there was no way I was gonna be able to continue at a rate of what I was doing and still actually see progress. A lot of people will say that, oh, I'm a jack of all trades. You're not a jack of all trades. You've just been able to do a lot of things at once, and they're not done properly. So I had to be very careful about that. I don't want to be a jack of all trades, master of none. I want to do these two things well, so that when people pay me to come on their platforms, they're all the time, they're getting excellence. And I left it at that, and I decided that I'm gonna focus. And guys, it has paid off, because I was able to go on so many platforms, huge platforms, over the past few weeks, months, whatever you want to call it. And it's been great feedback, one after the other, because I went and I delivered. they're not complaining. They're not saying, oh, you know, we gave this girl a shot and she made a complete mess of everything. That's definitely not the feedback. So I'm very happy about that. Another lesson that I think I learned, I'm sorry I'm bending down, guys. My thing is actually here on the ground. Let me get it up. Another key thing for me was I had to just face who I am, you know. I talk a lot about identity, knowing who you are, understanding that, listen, you're not for everybody. I share that, and I share it wholeheartedly because it is true. I'm not called for everybody. I'm not the type of person who is gonna come and, you know, I'm just gonna pump you up and, you know, and all these different things, and I'm gonna share some kind of juicy information with you. That's never been me. It probably will never be me. I mean, I will share things that will help to lift you up, but I just know who I am. I know who my audience is, and I know what they're looking for, and so I don't get carried away in trying to be like anybody else. This girl knows what she's called to do, and I'm okay with that. I don't have to try to be anybody else, and so I've had to embrace that. Listen, my walk is not gonna be like other people's, and while others may have like that influx of people or, you know, fanfare and excitement and all these different things, my walk may not be the same. And the reason I mention it here is because I want you to understand that, listen, you don't have to be like everybody else. You know, everybody's talking about, you know, all these different things and followers and the hype and what's in, what's new, what's hip. It doesn't have to be you. If you know you're not called for that, don't try so hard to be that. You don't have to. And so I found that sticking to what I know that I'm called to do helps me. I don't know about anybody else, but it helps me. It helps me because I don't have to try so hard to, you know, say that, hey, I'm this it girl, you know, I'm this influencer, and you know, I help people to promote their products. That is not me. It ain't me. I am a businesswoman. I am God-fearing, right? I'm not perfect, but at the same time, I know that, you know, everything is not for me. I understand that I'm an inspiration to others, and so they're always going to be looking up to me to set that kind of standard. But at the same time, listen, I ain't called for that. So if I'm not called for a particular thing, then I don't need to waste my time. And this is something that I find that I have to be stressing a lot, because people, although we are adults, they're so lost. They're so lost in fanfare and excitement that everybody's trying to be the same people. I don't want to be that. I don't want to be other people. I know the race that God has called me to run. That's the race I want to run, and no other race. I'm good with what He has given me. He has blessed me with, right? And so I find that people, they, as old as we are somehow peer pressured into thinking that, you know, we have to be a certain way. And I keep saying that if everybody is the same thing, then at some point in time we're gonna get bored, because everybody's trying to be the same person. When you look around, and of course I'm not knocking, you know, I'm not knocking these people. That's not my aim. I'm just saying, for example, if we even look at like trends in the beauty trends now, like when you see the women, you feel like all of them, everybody looks the same. who had, you know, who had work done or not. Yeah, everybody's starting to look the same. Was that the intention? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think that, you know, these people set out to say, okay, I'm gonna get surgery and I'm gonna look like everybody else. I don't think that's the case. But you had people who promoted this kind of look, and then that's how others got into the trend. And so you have to know where you stand, know your identity, know what you're called to do. If I'm called to speak, I don't have to try to compete with people who are, you know, in the arena of music. I'm not called to sing, right? That's not me. So I don't need to do that. So if you know what you're called to do, you won't find yourself in competition, period, because I don't believe in it. I don't believe in competing. I don't think, you know, you should compete, because every man has been given their own gift. And so whatever your gift is, you're created to excel in that gift. There's no competition there, right? You shine in your area, I shine in mine. And it's as simple as that. You may have people who say, but Nas, you know, whatever. I don't want this person, you know, achieving certain things before me. Again, I'm gonna say what's yours can't be on yours. In the Jamaican context, we say what's fair can't be unfair. So it's yours. So you don't have to compete for what's yours. It is yours already. And I find that once you know that, listen, life, it's not a competition, you do far better. No joke. You find yourself in places that you really ought to be in. And that's really what I aim to do. I don't want to be in those spaces where I feel like I have to be somebody that I'm not. And so if I ever go to an event, if I ever find myself in a circle and I feel like I'm out of touch with these people, then I know for sure it's not my circle. It's not my circle. We don't, you know, whichever circle is my circle, we don't compete. We're not there to compete. It's not a competition. We're all there to bring glory to God through our gifting. And so it's not a competition. Instead, what we do is we work together. So I just wanted to share that. But guys, this is pretty much my makeup routine. I don't know what I'm leaving out. Let me get my hair stuff now. We're gonna do the last touches and I'm gonna be out of here. Yeah, so this is pretty much what I do. Everything is now a mess everywhere. I'm sorry. Everything is a mess. Oh my gosh. The next time I do this, I'll ensure that everything is a little bit closer so that I don't have this to deal with. Again, I am not a professional, but I can help myself. You may be wondering, like, the press powder I use is Beauty Stop. The setting powder I use is Sasha. And what am I forgetting? I don't know the brushes. I don't remember where the brushes are from, and I can't be bothered to pull them out to look. Next time when I come back, I will be a little bit more prepared. What I can show you is that the setting spray that I used is Sasha Fix It spray, and I love it. It keeps everything in place. Now, based on what I told you that I do, sometimes I'm at events like all day. Sometimes, like, they give you a time that you're gonna be speaking, and I'm there so long, guys, it's ridiculous. And so you have to have a bit of patience while you're working. You need self-control. because sometimes you will get mad and you're like, listen, I've been here all day. Like, how much longer should I be sitting here? So yeah, need a little bit of that. I'm just gonna add some edge control, and then I'm done. I'm gonna come back when I have my jacket on and everything. See y'all in a minute. It's also another powder that I use. This is Fit Me powder, and this is in medium deep. It's 30. Alright guys, so off camera I was able to fix one of my eyebrows that needed a little bit more shaping, if you will. This is my Lotta Body edge control. I was looking for a different edge control, but I can't find it. Honestly, I don't know where it is, so I'm gonna have to work with this, which is good. I like that I don't have any residue with this one. I never have residue, which I love, because I hate seeing when that whole area turns white or gray. So I'm very careful. In fact, I think over time I stopped using so much edge control because I don't like the look it gives off. So yeah, that's it. So that's pretty much it. I may put a little bit of oil there so that, I don't know, I don't like when it turns white. So when I put the oil there, it prevents it from looking ashy. So that's the plan. I did not show you guys my blush. I don't know what it is. I don't remember. That's for another time. Remember, I said I'm no expert here. So yeah. But overall, 2022 was an excellent year. I think I learned so many different things. I learned as well, how to manage my relationships, business relationships, how to categorize people. We don't like to talk about it a lot. While we value people, you know what area they fit in. And so I used 2022 to do that, but to strengthen, my business and, different areas. I'm grateful though. Can I tell you, I'm super grateful. I'm grateful for where my life is right now, the projection that is heading. And so I don't want to take anything for granted. Yes, a lot of ups and downs, a lot of challenges, but overall, I wouldn't change it for anything. Because again, it's not sometimes you win and sometimes you lose. It's sometimes you win and sometimes you learn. And so I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the expansion. I'm grateful for the learning experiences. And so I'm just looking forward to 2023 being an even better one for me. All right, so I will definitely try to chip in a little bit more, share more on my journey, and just share tips that can overall help the professional woman, the woman who is all about her business, but she has issues with just dealing with everything coming at her at once. So yeah, I'll definitely be sharing more. So guys, that's pretty much it for today's video. Thank you so much for sticking and staying with me. I know it's been super long, but I had to get those tidbits in there for you, just sharing how my year has been, or just the 6 months that you haven't seen me for. Again, I'm no makeup artist, guys. I'm just a lady doing her own thing, and I think it turned out pretty good. I'm not gonna complain. I can show up looking confident today, and guys, I really do hope you have a great year. Remember to put those plans in action, because faith without works is definitely dead. Blessings. Bye bye. you.